Okay guys, it's time 14.1, the first workout, repeat from the first year of the Open, 11.1. So if you didn't check, the workout is going to be 10-minute AMRAP, 30 double unders, 15 ground to overheads, or snatch, the weights depending on the category, sex, etc. Go and check the weights out. Now, a couple of things that we need to talk about. We need to talk about warming up, we need to talk about some specifics on the mob, we need to talk about the snatch, the double under, a little bit about pacing for this workout and how you're going to set it up. So let's go ahead and get started here with the warm-up. This is going to be a shortest piece, 10 minutes. If you're going cold, your engine is not warmed up, it's going to be a bad day after round 1, round 2, round 3. So the warm-up is going to be extensive. You might spend 20, 30, even longer period of time getting just ready for this. Get on the air down, get on the rower, get your heart rate high first, do some general warm-up. Okay, make sure the engines are good to go. Afterwards, basically everything. Make sure your wrists are nicely warmed up. Double unders, if you've got stiff wrists, it's going to be a hard day. Your forearms will get super pumped. Shoulders, obviously for the snatch, for the double unders to keep that good position. Lower back. Now, a lot of you guys with tight posterior chain are going to struggle with the back position on the setup for the snatch. So make sure you do everything you can to get the lower back ready, good mornings, movements like that, and make sure that your hips and the ankles are well warmed up. There's going to be a bunch of double unders, there's going to be a bunch of time spent at that setup position of the snatch. It's going to get uncomfortable. For the mopes, a couple areas that are really important. First, shoulders. Guys, the internal rotation position, this transition from pulling to pushing becomes really important on the snatch. If you start to go around, it's going to cost you. Overhead position should be obvious. You need to be able to hit that position with no resistance. For the hip, you really want to focus on this flexion to make sure that you're nicely set up on the snatch. And you might want to work on the hip capsule as well, just to make sure that, again, that setup position is nicely loosened off. If you're tight in the front, that might be an extra piece that you need to throw in there. Now, let's talk about the specifics of these movements. First, let's talk about the snatch. It's going to be maybe the more fatiguing portion of this if you have the skill of doing the double under. So first of all, stance. Think about it. If your feet are very close versus they go wider, that setup position is going to become easier. Now if you go too wide, it's going to get crazy and it's not going to be beneficial for you anymore. So play around with the width of your stance. See where you're the most comfortable. See what taxes you the least. For the grip, without saying, hook grip. Now you've got some options with the width of the grip. If you go wide, the turnaround is going to be faster, but you're going to be more compacted in that setup position. If you go narrow grip, presuming that you're going to do the snatch, this narrow grip is going to allow for a higher setup position. So if you have back issues, otherwise that might be good, but you're going to burn out the shoulders. So you have to decide what works best for you. Again, practice, play around with this. If you don't tape your thumb, you're going to tear your thumb. Okay, make sure you tape it. Good, okay? Good tape around the thumb. It's going to save you for the next workouts. Now, should you go and do power or muscle snatch? We played around with this, and power snatch is not significantly slower than the muscle snatch, but it's definitely going to save you some shoulders. Might be metabolically slightly more taxing, for the hips slightly more taxing, but my personal choice would definitely be the power snatch. Now, if you happen to be Rich Frowning or Jason Kleeper, you might want to go with the muscle snatch from the beginning, but at some point it'll start to cost you, you're going to start to drop the barbell down. So going a little slower, but being able to maintain, sustain, might be more advantageous than going right off the gates doing that muscle snatch. Again, individual, play around. I recommend power snatch. Now, in the dream world, you do 10 rounds of the workout, you do 15 reps each time. However, it's not going to happen for most of us. I recommend that if you can get started with the 15s, it's going to give you a nice head start in the round 1, round 2. But the reality is that for most of us, we need to start to break this down pretty soon. Start with this positive psychology of, I'm going to do more reps first and less second. So the breakdown goes 15s, 9 and 6, 8 and 7, then 6, 5, 4. Try not to break it down more than 3 sets, if at all possible. Now 10 plus 5, doable. If you do more than 10, there's no point stopping anymore. If you're at 11, 12, just finish the set. Just suck it up. Now, on the double unders, it's really just about being relaxed. Don't try to rush the double unders. You're not going to win this workout unless you're an absolute conditioning beast in the double unders. So nice relaxed pace. Hands stay in front. Don't go to the outside. You're going to start missing reps. Wrists stay below the elbow. This is not a good strategy. You're going to burn out your arms. You might need them on the snatch. Head neutral. That's going to keep your hips neutral so you don't start to pike on your jumps. And shoulders back, that good setup position. If you start to slouch in here, it'll cost you more and it'll cost you on the snatch as well. Finally, those elbows, keep them tucked in, okay? This is not going to be a good strategy for the double unders. For the setup, guys, all I have to say is set up the rope in a way that allows you to go back into it fast. Don't just throw it on the ground at the end of each set. It's going to cost you, again, those couple seconds. The transition is going to be anywhere from 3 to 5 seconds between the two. You can go 2 seconds maybe if you set up really fast, but if you're going that fast, you better be filming, which means that the setup needs to be such that we can see the side view on both the double unders and the snatch. Don't forget that. So check the filming rules at the CrossFit Games site. Make sure you're doing it right. For pacing, guys, this is what I recommend. It's going to be a 10-minute piece. You can't go all out for 10 minutes. For most of us, again, some people will. So I recommend a start steady pace. Maybe the first half of the workout, you're just going to keep a steady pace. Start breaking the movements down, the snatch down earlier than you need to. If you're the guy who's not going to hit the 8+ rounds, you're just kind of doing the open for the first time. Break them down as early as needed. Try to get at least first set unbroken, and then go from there. Halfway check. If you're doing good, it's time to increase speed. If you're doing bad, it's time to hang in there. Okay, you don't want to slow down at that point. At the end, you got, depending who you are, 5 minutes, 4 minutes, 3 minutes, 2 minutes left. It's all in, whatever you have left. Now that doesn't mean sloppy, it just means start to fight, don't give up. Now, this is definitely a workout that you want to do twice. So, do it, adjust. Maybe you found you had more in the tank than you thought. After 4 minutes, hit it hard. Still start steady, but start to go fast a little bit earlier. Maybe that was 6-minute point for you. Maybe you try to push it, go 5:30, go at 5 minutes, increase that pace. Ultimately, this is going to be 10 minutes of suffering. I mean, typical Dave Castro, what would you expect? Go hard at it, don't relent, make sure you take care of the warm-up, make sure you take care of the mopes, have everything set up, practice before you go. That's it, guys.